Hey everyone, today we are diving deep into a playbook that makes a really bold claim. In today's world of enterprise sales, your credibility isn't just a bonus, it's pretty much the single most important thing you've got for closing that deal. So let's jump right in.
So let's start with the big question, the one we all have to face now. We're in an era of self-educated buyers, right? They've already done, 60% of their research online before they even think about talking to you. They know the features, they've read all the G2 reviews. So what's left for you to do? What value are you actually bringing to the table?
Well, the answer lies in making a pretty fundamental shift in how you think. It's about moving away from being a feature pitcher, the person who just rattles off a list of what the product does. And it's about becoming a trusted advisor, someone who partners with actual people to solve their real, complex business problems. This is the new game, right here.
So here's how we're going to break it down today. Think of this as our roadmap. We're going to walk through the whole sales cycle, but we're going to look at it through a new lens, as a journey where every single step is a chance to build up your credibility or, to lose it completely. First up, why does this matter so much, especially right now? Well, think about it. In the cloud economy, you're not selling a box with software in it anymore. You're selling an intangible promise, a promise of uptime, of security, of future value. Your credibility is the only thing that makes that promise feel solid and real. So what exactly is a trusted advisor? What do? Well, they live by this simple mindset: help first, then sell. They're genuinely deeply curious about the customer's business. Their main goal isn't to push a product, it's to understand the challenges so deeply that the solution becomes obvious. And look, building trust isn't some kind of magic voodoo, it's just psychology. Buyers are human. They look for social proof, like case studies or testimonials, to feel like they're making a safe choice. They notice when you respond quickly, and it signals to them that you care. And when you're totally transparent, you give them a feeling of control, which is huge for getting rid of that fear of making a bad decision. Okay, so you get the theory. How do we actually start doing this? Well, it all begins at that very first impression. And here's the kicker. Your chance to build credibility doesn't start on your first call. No, it starts way, way before that. In today's world, your digital brand is your first impression. Your LinkedIn profile, the articles you share, the comments you make, that's the new handshake. You have to assume B2B buyers are looking you up. They're trying to figure out if you're a real expert who adds value, or if you're just another salesperson with a quota. And to carry that credibility into the first actual conversation, you've got to change the questions you ask. We need to shift the focus away from features and onto business outcomes. So instead of asking, what features do you need? You're asking things like, what's the real business impact if this problem doesn't get solved? Now that's the conversation a partner has. Okay, so you've nailed the first impression. You've built some initial trust. Now comes the show me phase. This is the proof of concept, and it's where all your promises have to turn into actual, tangible proof. And here's the crucial distinction. A credible POC, it is not a free demo where you just show off every single bell and whistle. No way. It's a strategic, collaborative project to validate one specific, high-value business use case. The goal is to reduce their risk, not to show off your product. And there's a simple recipe for getting it right. Just 3 steps. First, you and the customer agree upfront on what success looks like, and you make it measurable. Second, you focus on one core use case to prove value fast. And third, a great POC creates an internal champion for you, someone who provides that social proof to all the other decision makers. Now we're at the final boss level, negotiation. This is the ultimate test. This is where all the credibility you've worked so hard to build is truly put on the line. So the mindset has to do a complete 180. This isn't some adversarial battle to see who can squeeze the other side the most. A trusted advisor sees negotiation as a team effort to build a fair deal that protects the customer and really just sets everyone up for a successful long-term partnership. And you prove you're on their side by sweating the details that really matter to them. Are you making sure they don't start paying for software months before they can even use it? Are you protecting them from crazy price hikes when it's time to renew? These actions speak so much louder than words. They show you're for real. Another really powerful tool for showing integrity is just radical transparency. A public trust center on your website where customers can just go and get security reports, compliance docs, all of that.
It proactively answers their biggest, scariest questions. It builds massive confidence and honestly just speeds the whole thing up.
So the deal is closed, and you did it with integrity. Great. But we're not done. It never stops there. Now we need to talk about how you actually measure the impact of all this work and how you maintain that trust for the long haul.
And let's be super clear about this. This whole credibility thing isn't just about feeling good or being nice. It has a direct, measurable, and really powerful impact on the sales metrics you care about. This is a business strategy, not just a moral philosophy. So what does that look like in the real world? Well, for starters, trusted advisors see significantly higher win rates. We're talking as much as 15% higher. It's simple. When buyers trust you, they choose you more often. And second, they close these deals faster. They can shorten the sales cycle by 20% or more. Why? Because trust just melts away all that friction, all those objections, and all those endless delays. And finally, the long-term payoff is absolutely huge. The loyalty you build is 3 times higher. That translates directly into more renewals, more expansion opportunities, and customers who become your biggest advocates out in the market. And this really drives the whole point home. That signature on the dotted line, that's not the finish line. It's the starting pistol. The real work of a trusted advisor actually begins after the sale by continuously delivering value and making sure your customer is wildly successful. I think this quote just says it all, doesn't it? Credibility is no longer a soft skill you list at the bottom of your resume. It's a hardline operational requirement. It is, quite simply, how modern enterprise deals are won, period. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. Take a hard look at your own process, your conversations, your emails, and ask yourself, are you just closing deals or are you truly building partnerships? Because the answer to that question is going to define your success from here on out. Thanks for tuning in.